How's it going, guys? Matt Davis with the Upland Experience by Final Rise here. Been on the road for about a week now, running around, hunting out of state, the Dakotas, Montana, all that good stuff. A lot of the videos we've been sharing on a couple of the hunts that we've done, people are inquiring about kind of the truck setup, about the soft topper, kennels, deck system, and kind of that configuration. There's so many different ways to skin the cat, but I kind of wanted to share what I've got going for me. This is kind of the culmination of all my traveling and hunting, and this works great for me. I won't say it's for everybody, but hopefully there's little nuggets and things that you can take away and hopefully find something that might be useful on your next road trip. First thing we'll dive into is talking about the deck drawer system. There's a lot of different drawer systems in general. A lot of people, you can do DIY ones. Guys are making platforms to slide stuff underneath. There's no right or wrong answer to do that. I really like the deck system first and foremost because it has full-length drawers now. My previous truck, which was a Chevy Silverado, had a short bed. It was great, loved that truck, but the drawers weren't super deep. Deck did change the format of their drawers. I think they actually offer a single drawer now as well. And again, that doesn't mean you couldn't make your own, but I do like the fact that at home, I live on a farm, we've got horses, I need my truck to do truck things. And so being able to put a four-wheeler on top and being able to load hay and all those different things, the durability of those deck systems works great for me. That's not necessarily a plug for them in any way, shape, or form. I think it's just a great product, and I would buy it again for every truck that I've got. I would like to add one of their slide outs at some point as well. I think that's great if you're stacking a lot of different dog boxes in there, but I usually just run 2 dog boxes at a time. Kind of what's in the drawers and kind of how do I have it laid out. My right drawer here, starting at the very back, I've pushed things back that I don't need access to regularly, obviously. So I've got a handful of different toolkits back there, things if for whatever rhyme or reason something goes wrong on the road. I've got tools to be able to take care of myself. I have one of these deck organizer boxes, and I actually just repurposed it to re-kit my first aid kit. I used one of the Paradigm Sporting Dog truck kits, so it's a full-blown kit. That particular box that Claire includes with that just was a little too tall for this, and I was losing a little bit of storage capacity, so I just converted that into one of these decked boxes, which has worked great. Keeps everything uniform, compact. I'm able to maximize my space in each of the drawers. Drinking water for me, holes that I shoot over throughout the trip. I reload most of my stuff, so I hold on to those. This drawer I put my vest in. It's easy to just lay it super flat with or without the water bottles. And then I've got some of the little decked organizer things that sit at the head of this. You would gain an additional 12, 18 inches if you got rid of that, but I like to be able to compartmentalize everything. So I've got a bunch of extra water bottles. I've got some gun cleaning, DeWalt light, just nice to have if I need light at the tailgate or if I needed to fix something on the side of the road or whatever. It's nice to have a powerful light, and just little odds and ends and different things like that that I need to have. So a lot of my first aid, personal drinking water, vest, and a handful of those things are on this particular drawer right here. And there's still room to spare. It's pretty incredible how much room is in these drawer systems. Another thing I do like about these that I'll comment on when I get to this soft topper is there is no dust that is getting inside of these drawers, which is super nice. I have like a car wash subscription back home. It's right across from one of our shops. So I wash my truck every single day and I don't have to worry about water or dust getting in these. So that is a thumbs up for the deck systems, just because they do have these seals. They do a good job of keeping your stuff clean. So when you're driving all these dusty roads, driving around the mountains, it is nice when things are as clean as possible. This drawer, this is all thing guns and ammo, spare pair of boots. I've got 4 shotguns in here. Got all my different ammo types. If I'm hunting refuges that require non-tox, if I can shoot lead, all those different things. I throw all my e-collars back here, extra pair of boots, a little tripod for taking pictures, and then I have another one of those little storage containers up here, and that's got a bunch of my ammo as well. Sometimes, depending on how long of a trip I'm going on, if I don't need this much stuff, I'll put my dog food in this one right here as well. I'll talk about the food setup because that kind of pertains to the soft topper and how I access that, but everything I need is kind of just right here, so it's nice to be able to get out, get geared up, get a dog out, put everything away and lock it up and go. And that's another, I guess, thumbs up to the deck drawer system. I haven't put mine on, but I do have the locks that will go on the front of here. And then I have a locking tailgate. I think one of the questions or thoughts or concerns that people have with these soft toppers is, hey, you know, it doesn't have a hard shell, somebody could open it up and get into the back of my truck or whatever. If I can lock these and I can lock my tailgate, they're gonna have a hell of a time trying to take a dog box through the small space that's there. But man, you gotta think at the end of the day, if somebody's really trying to take something out of your truck, they'll break a window, they'll do what it takes to get what they want out of your truck. But I do feel like this is a great layer of security. You can't look in the back of my truck and see a gun laying on the ground or anything like that. I'm a big out of sight, out of mind mindset guy, so I think this helps accomplish that. So that would be the deck in a nutshell. I think it's a great product. I do like the tie out points. I can strap down my dog kennels and really set it up, and it works great for me. So I think a drawer organization system of whatever brand, shape, make, or model is a great option to look at. Next thing we'll talk about, we'll kind of just go ground up more than anything. Talk about dog boxes really quick. I've owned Dakotas, I've owned Rough Tough, a lot of great kennels on the market. A couple of the reasons that I started using the Lucky Duck kennels, one, because I like the people over there. I'm a big believer in supporting people, not businesses. But an A+ for these guys is a lot of the dog kennels were too tall, and I used to run a hard shell on my trucks. And with the deck and the shell, most of the boxes were too tall. And Lucky Duck just hit those proportions perfectly. I can obviously run this with a soft topper. I can run it in a hard shell. And I've seen a lot of guys switching over to these dog boxes for that particular reason. I like modularity. I like being able to configure my entire truck to be able to work for me year round. Yes, it's set up as a hunting rig, but it's also my daily driver. It's my work truck. It works on the farm. I need it for a lot of different things. And so I think if you have dog kennels that you're able to get in and out and it fits with a particular setup, that's super important to look at. And I think there's a lot of great companies out there. There's a lot of great brands. The Lucky Duck kennels have worked fantastic for me. I do like, because I need to take them in and out of my truck pretty frequently, that they are lightweight. Man, some of the ones that I've handled out there are incredibly heavy and difficult to move. I think, you know, if my wife needs to be able to pull these out and go grab a bale of hay at the barn or whatever, it's not a big deal. Some of those other kennels, there's no way she could move them out of the back of her truck. So like the kennels, like the covers, these are great. I do put the doors down. This is an insulated cover. They're not as warm as like your Muddy River kennel covers, but you know, with the blanket in there and one of the pads, the dogs do pretty well in them. But if it gets really cold, we've got horses, so I'll just bring one of those big insulated horse blankets and I'll drape it over the top of it at night. But all in all, Lucky Duck system's fantastic. It works great for me. I can move it around, set it up, attach it where I need to. One of the questions I've got moving from the dog boxes into the soft topper, well, you've got your boxes at the front here, right? So how do you access the rest of your truck? One of the really cool things about these soft toppers is that there's the two mounted rails that are on the side of your bed, and then there's snaps that are running down the side. So I actually run all my dog food. I've got a bedroll. If I don't make it to a hotel and I need to sleep in the back of my truck, I can just, you know, stack the boxes in front of each other, and then I've got the entire length of the bed to sleep on. It's very easy to access the rest of your truck bed. Now, those are things, obviously, I'm not super worried about losing. I don't think someone wants to steal my dog food or anything like that. But I can run, you know, water. I've got a little cooler back here for birds that I'm shooting. I'll go through that here in a second. Really, this soft topper, the deck, and these dog boxes really just give me a ton of modularity. I'm not missing access to anything. I'm able to use all of the space that's available to me. So I don't feel like I'm missing out on something. I'm not really giving anything up to be able to use what I've got here. These soft toppers, again, are a fraction of the cost of some of the color matched hard shells out there. Nothing against them. I loved mine when I had it, but this is definitely a lot nicer for me. So talking about this a little bit more, like I said, we've got snaps down the side, vinyl windows on the back. I do like I can leave this on year round. If it's warm, I can actually roll up the sides. When I undo the snaps, there's a frame and a strap system on the inside, so I can kind of just run it as a canopy, so I can still give my dogs a lot of shade. I don't have to take it off entirely. And then when I do have to take it off, another vote in favor of these is the ability to store them. Back home, I had to have a spot for my shell. It would take multiple people to take it off the truck, put it on the truck, so you're not trying to scratch it or beat it up. You didn't want to break the glass. And then you were putting it in your yard somewhere, you were covering it with the tarp, and then mice and whatever else were living underneath it throughout the year until you'd put it back on or whatever. This folds up like just a simple canopy, like a bimini top on your boat. and you're just able to put it in the corner. It takes up absolutely no space. It weighs absolutely nothing. It's on and off, very simple and quick. So man, again, just a vote of modularity, if you will, that allows us to really accommodate my personal hunting needs and setup. So talk about cooler really quick. Not that that's really important. Water, I usually carry a couple of these jugs. These are the big 5-galloners. And then I have like a little emergency stash of the smaller plastics that fit underneath here perfectly. So again, I can utilize that space. And if for some reason, like the other day, I was a knucklehead and I forgot to fill this up after hunting for a couple days and had to tap into my emergency supply. One of the big things being on the road, obviously you got to be able to take care of your birds. There's possession limits. You've got all those different things to think through. So make sure you're aware as you're hunting multiple states what those regulations are. I bring one of these soft topper coolers, and from here, you know, I'm processing my birds. I usually will just breast the birds out, take all the meat that I can from them, and then dispose of the carcass in the field somewhere that's not in a parking spot. To me, there's no rhyme or reason that carcass needs to go in a garbage can and come all the way back home with me. Out here, there's predators, there's different things going on. Now, I try to make sure that I'm not trying to highlight that spot. Obviously, predators will learn that they can come to an area and that can impact the wild bird population or the birds that are there. So just be smart about it. Don't be stacking all of your birds in one particular location. A lot of times, I'll just drive down the road, I'll find somewhere that's discreet, out of the way, and I'll spread those out. Maybe that's overkill, but I'm just trying to think out, you know, I'm coming here, I'm enjoying this resource, I'm hunting it, I'm thankful for that. How do I make sure I'm respectful of it as well as the birds and not highlighting that for predators to come and make an impact on that? So breast the birds out, take them out. Always have just some half-gallon freezer bags, and then I'll carry a Sharpie with me, and then I'm able to cut the birds up, able to package them individually, label them by state, put a date on them, and then I've got all my different licenses on me, just if I need to have a conversation with a field officer and explain to them why I have the number of birds that I do. I can prove and show, hey, these are the states that I've been in and this is what I've been doing. And then you can always just eat them as fast as you shoot them. That's always a solution as well, and I know guys that do that. So yeah, that's just a great and convenient way to be able to just store all that meat, and then you don't have all the carcasses and stuff floating around with you. So I've got that on the side of here. We'll usually just clean that up at the end of the day here, but got dog food at the front. I think I already talked a little bit about that. That's nothing super wild, but all in all, I think this setup works fantastic for me. An organizer drawer system of sorts is really nice. Just being able to put stuff in places and always have a spot for something. That way I know if I'm missing something, I've got little checklists. I'm big on organization. Dog boxes, easy to plug and play. I can move them around. They're safe, they're secure, they're warm, they're comfortable for the dogs. They fit underneath the shell and then run in the soft topper shell. Man, just a ton of modularity, a lot of ease of access. And I think this all around accommodates the majority of most people's needs. Not everybody, again, there's so many different ways to skin that cat, but works great for me. Hope you guys have gained a little bit of insight, I guess, if you will. I'm not saying knowledge because it's just my opinion, but hopefully you guys have taken something away from this. If you have any questions on anything that we talked about in here, go ahead and drop a comment below. We're happy to engage with you guys. Always appreciate learning from you. If you've got something to share that we could take away from your setup, let us know. I'm all about getting better and learning from other people. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.